And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, September 2nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Tuesday morning, and we're glad to be here after Labor Day. Hope you had a nice Labor Day weekend. We're on the air each Tuesday for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and today Tracy Pope is with us, Director of Community Relations for Vanderbilt Wilson. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
We're glad to have you with us as always, and the medical professional that you usually bring. We have one today, which we'll get to momentarily. But I guess, how was your weekend?
It was great. I had a wonderful weekend. Not a lot going on, and it was really nice. Played a little golf, So it's a great day to play golf with the family.
You're picking up on that game.
I hope so.
Good.
It's touch and go sometimes. So yeah.
All right, we have a guest this morning.
We do. Yeah, we're really excited to talk about our emergency services at the hospital. We have Dr. Stephen Katz. He's the medical director at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And when you think about emergency services, our emergency department is truly the front door to the hospital. You don't plan to have an emergency. You don't plan to have a hospital stay, but we are there when you need us. And we're excited to talk about all our additional services and what we have going on.
Well, Dr. Stephen Katz, welcome to our program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Nice to have you, and we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. You can start at the very beginning, or at what point years ago that you'd like to tell us all about yourself.
Sure. So I've been with Vanderbilt for just over 5 years. Trained in medical school in Texas, and then moved to St. Louis, where I did residency. We lived in Texas again for a few years, and then we've been in Nashville and the Nashville area for almost 10 years. Working for Vanderbilt, and specifically Vanderbilt Wilson County, has been truly a blessing, and it's been a really exciting time in our career.
Did you grow up in Texas?
No, Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. So,
at what point did you go to Texas?
College, more than 20 years ago.
Okay, at what point? This is something that always interests me, and I ask a lot of our guests, our medical professionals, about this. At what point in your life did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
I want to say I've always known I was going to go into medicine. Being a doctor I think was one of those things that made sense. I did well in science classes, enjoyed those things. I have some family members who are in medicine, and so went specifically kind of focused in that since I've been a kid.
And why did you choose to head to Texas?
That's where my parents met. So my parents, my dad's from Memphis, and they met in Texas. And when my brothers and I were coming up to college age, they said, listen, you'll have to apply. Don't have to go, but you have to apply to Texas. And we went and visited and loved it. And me and one of my other brothers went to Texas. And my twin brother's wife also got her MBA there. So a lot of us have a Texas tie.
Well, you could have gone in several directions, even in the medical profession. Why did you choose to be a doctor?
Helping people is, always the easiest answer, but it's nice to sort of make a difference in people's day-to-day lives, especially in the emergency department. We're seeing people who are showing up at their worst times, and being able to give a support to them and a system of help makes you feel like you're actually doing something to help and change someone's life in specific situations.
Is there any specific path that you have to pursue to be what you are?
For emergency medicine? Yeah. So after medical school, everybody goes into, I say everybody, most everybody goes into a residency program. And those are split up into different sections. You can do surgery, medicine, emergency medicine, anesthesia, etc. Some of these specialists have their own specific residency program, but people like general surgeons go into surgery and then can specialize in plastics or colorectal surgery or other things along those lines. If you saw a cardiologist, they did a medicine residency and then did a specialization called a fellowship in cardiology or gastroenterology for the stomach or care, things along those lines.
Well, exactly what did you do?
So I did a residency in emergency medicine at Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis through Washington University in St. Louis. It's a 4-year residency program. Vanderbilt here in Nashville has a 3-year residency program, and you start that after graduating from medical school. So everybody that you see who's a resident, because we do have residents now at Vanderbilt Wilson County in the emergency department, is a physician, but they're in their training program to learn the specialty of emergency medicine.
Well, how many years was invested in this? Because you're talking about the general 4 years of college, I guess,
Yes.
and then you go to medical school.
For 4 years, and then 4 years of residency. So 12 years of focal training for that, and then I've been doing emergency medicine for almost 17 years.
But
And
you're...
Just
go ahead.
to clarify, not all emergency department physicians have that specialized training like we do at Vanderbilt. Is that correct?
There are some emergency departments that have family medicine boarded physicians. Those are becoming fewer and fewer because the emergency medicine as a specialty only came around about 30, 40 years ago. So some hospitals will still have some family medicine boarded physicians who will train, who have been working in those facilities for some time and have the same general training in terms of being able to take care of people in an emergency.
Well, there's just so much education, so much preparation that goes into being able to do what you do and have that title of a medical director and a lot of responsibility there. But you and here again, I was thinking as you were talking about that. 12 of the best years of your life are spent preparing to do what you do now. Hopefully it's worth it.
It is. It's been very worth it. Like I said, some days are harder than others, right? We see people in what could be their worst days. And like Tracy said, nobody plans to come to the emergency department. But we are there to make sure to help and take care of people when they do need us in those emergencies.
Well, you are highly trained. You have a highly trained emergency department staff. Mm-hmm. Do they all have almost as much as you?
So, yes, actually, we have some people who have even more specialized training. So some of our physicians have done fellowships. And in emergency medicine, we have can do a specialized training in things like ultrasound. EMS. So some of our physicians are medical directors for Mount Juliet Emergency Department, for Murfreesboro Fire, for Trousdale Emergency Services. So we have people who help not only take care of people in the emergency department, but also make sure to help direct the care that occurs before you show up in the emergency department.
Well, I understand that Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital has invested over $48 million in the hospital and services. So serving the community when it comes to an emergency is most important. We all agree on that. What is involved to provide the most advanced care for a person facing an emergency?
So in the emergency department, we've continued to sort of expand our capabilities. Actually, Tracy and I were talking about before this, the month of August, we saw the most amount of people in the emergency department we've ever seen. So it shows the trust that the community has placed into us. We before this in December during cold and flu season, we saw the most amount of people. But this summer we were very busy, and we can't thank the community enough for trusting us. But we've also invested in changing the services. We have aligned ourselves with what is available through Vanderbilt University Hospital downtown Nashville, having some of the same equipment. A lot of our physicians rotate through that system as well, so they work not only at Vanderbilt Wilson County, but also at the main campus at Vanderbilt, where the main focus of research and advanced care occurs.
Well, what about you? Where do you spend most of your time?
100% of my time is at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Now, one other thing, we'll take a break. But you just mentioned that this August that just ended, what?
2 days ago, yeah.
You had more in the emergency room than ever before.
Yeah, we saw.
And that is amazing to me, because when you think of the wintertime, what was there a lot of heat stroke?
I think it validates the trust in our community. I think, before we became Vanderbilt 6 years ago, people would bypass our emergency department and our hospital to go to other services. And I think that since Vanderbilt has purchased our hospital, we have showed our investment, additional service lines. I think our community values our partnership and the trust. And I really think that's what it boils down to.
Okay, so what we're saying here is it's not necessarily that we had that many more emergencies. More of the emergencies came to Vanderbilt Wilson.
I think more people in the community have really decided that we are the source of care that they want to have when they need somebody to take care of them in an emergency situation.
Well, I really wasn't thinking about looking at it like that, but that's a great point. Yeah. And it goes to show what the $48 million investment is paying off.
Yeah.
For Vanderbilt and for the whole community. Okay, let's take our break. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and I'll reintroduce our players when we come back here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford. Get a battery installed in most vehicles, $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning, building pretty good right now. Coming through the Mount Juliet areas, traffic volume increases on I-40, especially coming through Hermitage. Donaldson on 40 going west is starting to load up again with more volume. On 24 through the Antioch area, we've had numerous accidents already out there affecting that traffic flow, trying to get in past Walden Road, in from Rutherford County, headed towards Davidson County. Hey, Stein Dental Care in Nashville has over 350 wonderful Google reviews. Go by and see them today or call Stein Dental Care in Nashville 540-0888. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
We continue here on a Tuesday morning, September 2nd. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Tracy Pope is with us as usual, Director of Community Relations for Vanderbilt Wilson. And we are delighted to have Dr. Stephen Katz with us today. Dr. Katz, Medical Director of the Emergency Department. All right. What other important services can you tell us about that support your department and make a difference when it comes to an emergency?
So we are a accredited chest pain accredited center. A primary stroke center. We're a level 3 trauma center. We have Vanderbilt services that are available, including our pediatric emergency department services that we can talk to via tele services. So we can talk to a pediatric emergency medicine specialist, because that's another specialty that somebody can go into through a fellowship.
Well, hold on. Let's stop and talk about that. Yeah. So what he's saying is we are an adult hospital, but in an emergency department, we can take care of whatever comes in the door. And if we have pediatric patients that arrive in the emergency department, our emergency physician on staff will evaluate the patient, and then we can have a televisit with an emergency department physician from the Children's Hospital. At the same time, they can evaluate the patient and make a determination on how to take care of that patient. Yeah. And I know it really alleviates about 75% of our transfers down to the Children's Hospital, having that one-on-one care with the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital Emergency Department physician. So that is one of the major implementations that we made through our emergency services.
Does that happen often?
fortunate that most times kids show up and do okay. Don't need to be transferred.
Not needed. Okay.
Yeah, but we do use the service, and what's nice actually, a few of our physicians who work not only at the Vanderbilt Hospital downtown, also work at the Children's Hospital. I actually worked with one of them this weekend, so he has experience not only through working at the main campus at downtown, but also at Children's. So he has experience and can take care of kids. Now, not that we all can't take care of children who show up, but he has specialized training to help take care of everybody, even more so than everybody else.
Well, there are 4 different emergency caring situations that are here, ways of doing this. You want to expound on those a little bit?
So we are a level 3 trauma center. So Dr. Hopper and his team have really grown the trauma services, and we see more patients who have had traumatic injuries. We don't want people to hurt and fall and hurt themselves, and we don't want people to have to show up in the hospital, right? We want everybody to be healthy and be able to go home. But the people who do come in, we've focused on taking high-quality care of them. That's always been the mission, is patient-centered, high-quality care.
And like Dr. Katz is saying, our true mission is to keep people closer to home, bringing that highly qualified, excellent care closer to home. And when Vanderbilt first purchased our hospital a little over 6 years ago, we met with our emergency management system and said, why do you bypass our hospital? And trauma was the number one reason. And we immediately started investing in building a trauma center. And we are just so excited that, we have established a level 3 trauma center, and we continue to expand our trauma services and capabilities at the hospital.
All right, Vanderbilt Wilson.
Hold on. We want to talk about more. There's a few more. So I would love for Dr. Katz to talk to us about our mental health patients that come into the emergency department and how we have a specialized service for that.
So we have people do, unfortunately, behavioral health and mental health issues are prevalent in every community, and in our emergency department, not only do we have specialized services that are available via teleservices, but we also have a specialized area within our emergency department with nurses who've done additional training in managing behavioral health patients so that they can provide care for them. So instead of putting them in a room in the emergency department where it's loud and there are alarms and people are walking around all the time and there's all sorts of stimulation, these patients can be moved over to an area that's specifically specialized for them. And they have staff who can help take care of them, get them restarted on medications if they need to, be seen by a mental health professional via teleservices, and if they need to be taken from our hospital to a facility for continued care, then we have that transition of care available for them as well.
Because unfortunately, sometimes it can be a long stay in the emergency department before an opening for inpatient care arises. And so, like Dr. Katz said, we have specialized trained nurses in behavioral health to help that patient start their road to recovery and their path for assistance. Instead of just waiting in the emergency department 24 hours, 2 or 3 days, sometimes 7 days for a bed to open up so they can transition to another hospital facility. So I think that has been one of the most significant implementations that we've made in our emergency department that you rarely find in other emergency departments.
I think we're one of the only facilities that has something similar to this.
Anything else here we need to discuss before we move on?
It does mention our teleneurology services, and specifically with Vanderbilt. So we have, I mentioned we're a primary stroke center, so we can see and evaluate and take care of anybody who shows up with a stroke. We have...
Well, strokes are pretty common, right? And all different ranges of severity. Some are terrible, and some you get over maybe fairly soon.
Right.
Go ahead.
And so we want people get care as quickly as possible. That's incredibly important in a stroke, right? Time is brain. And so we want to make sure to have those services available as quickly as possible. And that's one of the main focuses of the growth of the system that we've have continued to expand upon at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. It's the same focus we've done with chest pain and growing and developing our interventional cardiology program, because the faster we can get people to care, the better they're going to do long term.
All right, Vanderbilt Wilson is a chest pain accredited center, so what does this mean in an emergency?
So we have actually a really streamlined service in terms of making sure to evaluate people who show up with chest pain. Our goal is to have an EKG completed and interpreted by a physician within 10 minutes. Our average over the last 2 to almost 3 years has been about 8 minutes. So somebody shows up, says they have chest pain, they get an EKG, and it's not just completed, but interpreted on average in under 10 minutes. If that shows that they are having a heart attack or we have concerns for that, we have a specialized cardiologist who can then evaluate them to open up their arteries, take a look at those take a look and make sure that they don't need to have a surgery or have other things that might be leading to their symptoms.
Well, I take it that that's a great improvement.
Yeah.
A goal of 10 minutes, and you said, I believe, the average is 8.
Yeah, and our the goal for people, if you're having a heart attack, the goal is to get you in and have that artery opened up within a very quick time frame. Our average over the last year has been 38 minutes. Usually it's 60 minutes is the goal. So we are well below the average and beating many other facilities in the area in terms of our time frames.
And you have to continue to train your staff on emergencies like this. And just a couple of years ago, Mayor Randall Hutto assisted us in a mock drill at the hospital.
That's right.
We worked with him, and he walked in our emergency department as if he was having chest pains, and we went through the whole scenario. He was such a good partner with us, and he really got to witness our staff react to an emergency. And our staff did not know that this was planned. Leadership knew it was planned, and so it was a really fun day, but at the same time, very serious, because it was a mock drill to make sure our staff are well equipped.
I remember that. All right, let's since we've been talking about strokes, let's talk about some signs and symptoms, because that's very important.
Yeah, so the one that everybody talks about in stroke is FAST. So face, arm, speech, and time. So face, if you have facial changes, meaning weakness on one side, if your arm drifts down, I did that for Facebook so they could see me, and speech, if you have speech changes, so if your speech is slurring, if you have trouble speaking, finding words, understanding somebody, or having somebody understand you, any of those changes are concerning. And T is for time, because like I mentioned before, time is brain. The faster we can get you to the hospital, so that's one of the reasons why we have people who are specialized in emergency medical services for EMS, who help sort of train and direct the protocols for the paramedics and fire services who will provide you transport to the hospital in an emergency. We try and get you to that facility as quickly as possible, and then the goal is to evaluate you as quickly as possible. We have a stroke system that has been established, practiced, drilled into everybody as many times as possible to ensure that we have that system down as quickly.
And you are a certified stroke center.
We're a primary stroke center.
All right. Why choose Vanderbilt Wilson County if you're experiencing an emergency? That's what we've been talking about since 7:04.
Yeah.
But expound.
So I mentioned this before, but our goal is to provide high quality, patient-centered care. We aren't trying to, we don't want anybody to be scared, right? But it's an emergency, and a lot of the times people show up, and this is this could be the worst thing they've ever experienced. And we are there to try and not only reassure you that we are going to take care of you, but you're going to get the care that you deserve in that situation.
And, over the last 6 years, like you started out, we've invested over $48 million to expand our comprehensive care at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And we're not just a standalone emergency services department. We are a full-service hospital that has equipment and specialized services to support any type of patient that may possibly have to come to the emergency room.
All right, one other thing here. How long is a typical stay in the emergency department?
So it definitely depends. If you're admitted to the hospital, which means you have to stay overnight or potentially longer, your stay can be a little bit longer because that means we're concerned enough about you to do additional testing and we think you're going to need to stay in the hospital. If you show up and have a minor injury, like let's say you're peeling vegetables and you cut your finger, you might only need to stay for 90 minutes or 2 hours because it depends on lots of factors. If you're having chest pain, unfortunately, that means you might be there for a couple of hours because when we check heart tests, we have to recheck it and make sure that there's not something ongoing. Again, the focus is we want to make sure that everything's okay before we talk about letting you go somewhere else.
We've come to the end of our time. Tracy, an interesting program this morning, and Dr. Katz, certainly appreciate having you and all that you do as the medical director. And the last word quickly.
Every time we're on the radio, our time goes by so fast. Mm-hmm. I know the hospital, even before Vanderbilt, has been a valued partner here at WANT, and we just appreciate your support and our community support. Over the past 6 years that Vanderbilt has, purchased our hospital, it's been incredible to see the growth and the support.
Well, thank you both. And Dr. Katz, we wish you well.
Thank you so much.
That is part one of Coleman & Company. Stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. We want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now's the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated number one for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's getting heavier out here. You would expect in West Knoxville, especially for that volume. 40 east and west, passing 640 here at Paper Mill over the top of West Hills. A lot of traffic volume this time of the morning. Still trying to build into Oak Ridge there, going across that Solway Bridge. Still a bit crowded coming off that ramp from Western Avenue on to 640 westbound. If your check engine light comes on, don't panic. Google search Knuckle Busters Amco Knoxville. Amco serving East Tennessee since 1962. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Together in faith and care. This is Sean Dozier at Harshside Senior Living. Since 1994, Harshside has been focused on its residents for the glory of God and the enjoyment and security of all its residents. This mission, expressed initially by Dr. Jimmy Morris, continues to guide us today. Located in the heart of Lebanon, our respected, locally owned, nonprofit assisted living community offers a warm and welcoming environment. Schedule your tour today. Contact us at 615-443-1994.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Well, partly cloudy skies for today. Highs will be in the mid-80s. Partly cloudy with just a few rain showers possible tonight. Lows around 60, and then partly to mostly cloudy for our Wednesday. Highs in the mid-80s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
Coleman & Company, welcome to part two. It is a Tuesday morning, the day after Labor Day, and we welcome you to the second half and welcome Sean Dozier, Exec Director for Harshside Senior Living. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
I get my stories interrupted a lot, don't I?
You really do, and I enjoy hearing them. And now with Facebook, I guess you can.
Well, the Facebook,
I guess people can hear them during Facebook.
We have to be a little careful, maybe
Yes,
a little bit more careful, but you do see what it's like when the mic is not on if you're watching Facebook.
Inside the business here, it's really neat.
Well, we're always glad to have you. Everything go well at Hearthside for Labor Day?
Yes, everything went well, and we had a nice Labor Day weekend. We had some nice meals for the residents. They always enjoy that, and a lot of families, a lot of folks went out to be with their families, and that's always good. I always tell people it's you can come in 24/7. It's not a locked unit. You can leave anytime you want to. In fact, we have several residents that drive and go places and do things. So that's always great. So it was busy this weekend. We our staff was there all weekend, and our cooks were there all weekend. Our nurses were there all weekend. So we never shut down. We're always there for the residents, and we never take a day off. And that's what assisted living does. We're there to assist 24/7. We have what we call resident assistants there every day, 24/7, and they are there in case they're needed. We have a call button that hangs around the resident's neck if they want to, and they can push that button if they fall or if they need help with bathing and dressing, or if they just need a glass of water. That button is there to push. And our resident assistants have these pagers, and they go off, and they're there literally in seconds or minutes. And that's a really good asset for people in assisted living. We also have call lights in their bathroom, also in their bedrooms, so they're never far away from a pull cord or a button that they can push to get assistance in their rooms. And our Hearthside is rather long. We have 3 wings. And so if they're in one wing, they can get there rather quickly. But that call button is there. It's not like it used to be where there was like buttons and lights hanging from the ceilings. It's all done by Wi-Fi now. So they can be anywhere in the building. They know where that call light is pulled from. They know the resident's name. It's on their beeper. So everything is on that beeper, so they can get to that resident very, very quickly.
Well, that's probably some great changes that weren't all there when you started in 1994.
No, it wasn't there. In fact, it was independent living, and I don't think we had anything like that. So it's all Wi-Fi now. We can get to residents very quickly, and that's important. Sometimes they need us actually very quickly, so we get to them. Our nurses have those pagers. Our nurses have access to those that information when it goes off, and so that really does make a difference. A lot of people, choose assisted living because they need that 24/7 service. They've been falling at home. They don't get their medication timely. In fact, I've heard stories where residents have literally laid in their kitchen or laid in their bedrooms for hours before somebody got to them. So we really do provide a good service for those folks that need just a little extra assistance.
Again, that's why we say it's Hearthside when it's time for a helping hand. And your helping hand seems to be a little bit bigger, a little increased maybe from the beginning because of advances that have been made possible.
Yeah, technology has really, when I first got there, we didn't even have Wi-Fi in the building. Yeah. So that was just 8 years ago. So we've really improved a lot over the past several years. And our residents come in more with more technology needs. They're using their iPads, they're using their phones, they use smart TVs, and even just 8 years ago, people really weren't doing that. So now, when they come in, the building is fully Wi-Fi'd, and they can go anywhere in the building and get on their smartphone or iPad, and they use it. In the past, you really didn't know what was going on in their rooms. Now, with residents having their iPhones and their iPads, they can record, they can film, they can do anything. So you gotta really be on top of your game and gotta provide the service that they want and need, and that's what we do at Hearthside.
Dude, especially the men really enjoy when football season starts.
Yeah, they really do, Coleman. I think every year you ask that question, and that is a good question.
Do I?
Yeah. That is a good question because we have a large flat screen TV in our activity room. We have a large flat screen TV in our foyer, and they sit around and watch football. In fact, I'm sure we'll talk about that today, but they really do. They enjoy watching sports, and not just men. Our women really get into baseball and football, and we have one resident. Well, of course, there are many UT fans at Hearthside, but we have a resident who's from Coleman, Alabama. She's a big Alabama fan. So it's not just the men, Coleman, it's the women that really enjoy watching sports now on television.
All right. Are you ready for a Hearthside?
Well, I guess so. You got more important business to
get
on with.
Have so much time allotted.
Sherry's Run is going to be. In fact, we do a water station for Sherry's Run every year. We're right there right outside of Hearthside. And as those walkers and runners come up Castle Heights, we provide a great water station. Many of our residents participate in that, and a lot of our board and many of our volunteers. So
glass of cold water.
We're looking forward to that. But yes, my Hearthside hello, Coleman, is Harry Poss. He's one of our residents. I know I've mentioned him before, but anytime a resident has a birthday, I like to give him a shout out. So Harry Poss's birthday was yesterday, and many of our residents, including Harry Poss, listens to the show. So happy birthday to Harry. He makes sure everything runs great when I'm not there.
I have known Harry for a long time, and you say happy birthday to him. I just want to give him a big hello this morning.
Well, hello to Harry Poss. He'll appreciate that. I tell you what, he knows everybody. We can take him to eat, or people come in there. Or in fact, somebody was touring last week, and it was his old neighbor. I mean, he knows everybody from Nashville to Alexandria. I mean, he knows everybody. So anyway, a great Hearthside hello to Harry Poss.
Well, thank you for being with us as always. And it's Tuesday, but the week is off to a good start, and we appreciate all you do and all that you get to tell us each week about Hearthside.
Well, I enjoy being here. Have a great week.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Sean Dozier, Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living. We're about 20 before the hour, and as Sean alluded a little bit to, if you were listening closely, we're going to be talking about Sherry's Run today, and Corey Cluck is here. Corey, good morning to you. And we have Kesney Hoot with us today, and good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
It is nice to have you with us, and I guess we have Sherry's, your organization.
Sherry's Hope.
Sherry's Hope, yes.
Yes,
And in fact, I think that's what I wrote down in my book today, Sherry's Hope. But Sherry's Hope is the organization. Sherry's Run is the event.
That is right.
And whichever one you say, it's okay.
It's all okay. Yes, exactly right.
And even the history of this run is something, because, and we'll probably be talking more about that with the guests that I have later in the week, but it was just started as something to honor Sherry maybe once or twice. I don't think they planned on anything like this has become, but this is a great fundraiser. And Corey, you and Kesney, and Corey, you've been in it for so long. You're right in the middle of all of this.
Yes,
and
sir.
I guess who better to have than to come out and just remind everybody and tell all about it again.
Yes, sir. That very first year, it was some friends of Sherry's and Gary's came to Gary and said, "Hey, we want to do something to honor her. She had passed away in May of 2004, and the run was something they decided to do." And Gary talked to the boys, and so it was had no plans for it to be more than just that 1 year to honor her, but the community just showed up in a huge way, and they said, "Well, hey, let's do it again," and then let's do it again, and so here we are, the 22nd annual. All these years later,
you have been able to raise money, a big amount of money every year, and it's increased a lot from the beginning.
Sure,
but you've put that to such good use.
Yeah, initially the idea was we're going to cure colon cancer because she passed away from colon cancer. But a few years in, Dr. Don Cole, who was her gastroenterologist, came to the board and said, "Hey, have y'all ever thought about doing something a little bit different with the money? Not that research is not important; it absolutely is. But he said, I see patients in my office on a day-to-day basis that have needs paying their bills while they're going through this treatment. What do you think about doing something different? And they talked about it and said, you know what, that we think that's a great idea. We love research. We want there to be research, but there's a lot of money going to research already. But we could do something really taking money that's donated and putting it back in the community to help.
We're going to be going to a break here in a couple of minutes, but why don't I just want to ask each of you, and Corey, we can start with you, but how did you get involved? I mean, is this just a job for you, or and Kerstin will ask you kind of the same thing. But tell us about getting with this and getting going and why you still doing what?
Well, it is a job for me, but it's personal to me. I knew Sherry. I went to church with her, so I started knowing that, and I was at the very first run. I was a participant, but then a few years later, I started. Everything had been done all volunteer based, and then it got to be where the patient load for assistance and all of the daily admin things got to be where they really needed an employee, and I was the first employee hired, and it just so happened that year my dad was diagnosed with colon cancer, and he ended up being a patient that received assistance. And if it hadn't been for Sherry's run, at the time, now Sherry's Hope, and the assistance that he was able to receive, he wouldn't have been able to stay in his home while he went through his cancer treatment. So it's very personal to me as well from that standpoint. Mm-hmm. And so, here I am all these years later.
Kerstin, what about you?
So I actually was going to Cumberland University getting my master's whenever I found out about the job opportunity, but I had been praying really hard just about getting a job that would allow me to talk about God and my faith, and I felt a call to that, but I had no idea what it was going to look like. Well, during my time at Cumberland, I had a little side job. I worked at Mike's Flower Shop in Alexandria, and Mike just happens to be one of the people who ties the green bows that you see around town. And he was telling me, hey, Sherry's Run is looking for somebody. I don't know what your degree is in, but they're looking for a marketing director. Well, that was what my degree was in. So total God thing. I interviewed and I'm still here. And so I'm so grateful for a job that makes such a difference in the community and where I can share my faith as well.
Well, before we go to the break, when is the run?
It is September 13th, coming up a week from Saturday, 8 a.m. Get registered, sherrysrun.org.
Many changes this year. Is it very similar?
Oh, very simple. Same course, all the same things. No changes from the respective just of the run and the course itself and the registration.
One other thing, you mentioned the bows. Let's talk about them for a second. We'll go to a break.
Yeah, so the green bows are available at our office, 155 Legends Drive, Suite O, across from Demas's in Lebanon. And they're available for a donation of $10 or more, or they're available at any of the Wilson Bank and Trust branches in Lebanon.
All right. So you really are showing your support for Sherry's Run if you get one of those bows.
Yes, sir.
And you said for as little as $10.
Yes, sir. They're a great conversation starter.
All right. Okay, we'll take a break here and more with Corey and Kerstin coming up here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford. And get a regular oil change up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $39.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Here's what we're seeing. Heavy and slow traffic at times westbound Vietnam Vets coming through Hendersonville there at Gallatin Pike, working your way towards Conference Drive. Just trying to get out of Sumner County right now. Is running slow. Heavy traffic continues through the Mount Juliet area. That's starting to get a little bit heavier on 40 westbound as you continue on into Hermitage. There's a few accidents out here. Give yourself a little bit of extra time. Stein Dental Care in Nashville has over 350 wonderful Google reviews. Give them a call today at Stein Dental Care in Nashville at 540-0888. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals on everything you need for your special event. Birthdays, weddings, corporate events, they have you covered. Tables, chairs, tents, linens, dance floor, and so much more. Visit their new showroom in Lebanon at 713 East Main Street in the old Ferguson's building. Find them every day at fiestas.com or on Facebook. Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals that can transform your vision into a beautiful reality. Mention this ad to receive 10% off.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man. Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Your Lebanon High football team is back on the field, and we're back in the booth. Join Donald Gann, Joe Gardner, and myself, John Boyce, as the Blue Devils hit the gridiron each week. Lebanon football is brought to you by Bates Ford, Bird Iron Supply, Fakes and Hooker, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Kenny Salas and the Salas Realty Group, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Shannon Speck Electric, Sports World, Rackley Roofing Company, Wilson Bacon Trust, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. This Friday, your Blue Devils will be on the road at McGavock High School. Pre-game at 6:30, kickoff at 7.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
Join us Saturday, September 13th for the 22nd annual Sherry's Run 5K Run Walk to benefit Sherry's Hope. The event starts at 8 a.m. at 623 West Main Street in Lebanon, Tennessee. Come run or walk and give hope to people in our community who are battling cancer. Enjoy a silent auction, live music, and more. Register now at sherrysrun.org and make plans to join us Saturday, September 13th for the Sherry's Run 5K Run Walk to benefit Sherry's Hope.
And we continue here on this Tuesday. It is Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, and we thank you for joining us. And our thanks to Corey Pluck and Kesney Hoot for being with us this morning to talk about Sherry's Run. Both of you are employed by Sherry's
Hope.
Drawing a blank. Why can't I remember Sherry's Hope? Sherry's Hope. And give credit to the other employee, three of you who really take care of business there.
Yeah, Elisa Eakes is our patient assistance director. So she's the one who, if you apply for assistance and go through that process, she's the one who works with the patients on a day-to-day basis to figure out what they need and help them.
You both told your stories and kind of your how you got started with this before we went to the break there. But it is, for both of you, I mean, you could just tell by listening that it's more than just a job, and it's almost a calling and helping these people. It all started out mostly to support people with colon cancer, but I understand Sherry's Hope, Sherry's Run now benefits if you've been afflicted with cancer in almost any way.
Any kind of cancer, yes, sir. So if
you're eligible to apply, and then the money is portioned out as far as the need goes, and as long as the money lasts. I guess.
That's right. Yeah. So if you have a current cancer diagnosis and you live in Wilson County or surrounding community and are going through treatment, then you can apply for assistance, and it's a real easy process. But fill out that application and some other documents that we need, and Elisa makes that a very easy process for everybody to go through, and then she can talk about what areas of need that they might have.
Well, what do you do, Corey, most of the time during the year as an employee of Sherry's Hope?
I do administrative stuff, so things that are not marketing and things that are not patient assistance, pretty much that comes to me. So office-related things, all things administrative and operational.
You seem to really enjoy this, though.
I do. Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to work for a Christian organization. I love my coworkers, and our board is really great. And it's working. I know that people are receiving assistance and help when they really need it the most, and knowing what that looked like going through it with my dad and my some other family members as well.
Well, Kesney, talk about what you do. Pretty much, you're in the marketing, so you're getting the word out.
Yes, sir.
Right?
So I do things, basically all the things you see on social media or on billboards or in the newspaper. That's my job. So I write press releases. I get to interview our patients and write patient stories, which is one of my favorite things I get to do. I write devotionals, which is so fun. We have a monthly newsletter that I send out, so I'm in charge of that. I also design most of our content, so anything you see on social media or on our newspaper ads, I do that as well.
Well, let's talk about the money that comes in. There's a number of ways you can actually be a contributor. You can join those who where the money is being pooled. Let's say you buy those ribbons, the bows that we talked about earlier for $10. But there's participation in Sherry's Run itself now, and that. Is that where most of the money comes from, or is it just? I'm wondering. I mean, we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars every year from Sherry's Run. Where does it all come from?
Well, your registration fee is such a big thing for us. So if you register online at sherrysrun.org, your $35 registration fee makes a huge difference. And so that's the $35 registration fee is just a normal runner walk. You can pay $45 to be a chip time runner, or if you can't make it or don't like walking or running or getting up early, you can sleep in for Sherry's Run for $40 and we'll mail you your event shirt afterwards.
All right.
But the sponsorship money really is a huge part of our overall fundraising as well. And then just donations that, folks, the green bows are for donations. And then other, folks will just make a donation without registering or whatever. And we're appreciative of that too.
Yeah. It all just kind of comes together and
Do you set a goal? I'm trying to remember if I've ever remembered you setting one. You haven't, huh?
We never do. That started from the very beginning with the initial board with Gary and the other folks that were on there. They said we're not going to set a goal because we're going to trust that God's going to take care of what needs to be taken care of. If He wants this organization to be a blessing, He's going to bless it and enable us to be able to do that. So we don't set a goal. We just trust He's going to provide, and He does.
Okay. Well, and again, Sherry's Run is coming up a week from this Saturday.
It is.
Which is what, the 13th?
The 13th, 8 a.m.
September. And we haven't talked much about it itself because it's the same as it's been for a while. You start at Wilson Bank, the West Lawn?
Right there at the intersection of North Castle Heights and West Main, and it goes toward the square, turns left on North Greenwood, goes up to Baddour Parkway, comes up to Castle Heights on that end, comes up the hill by Hearthside, like Sean was talking, and then takes a left. So that's your water station before you take that left onto Hill Street to do that final stretch, and then comes back down to North Greenwood, and then back up West Main to the finish line. So it is a certified 5K too for anyone who likes to know that for chip time.
And you do have some who. There are people who do these runs, and it's a competition for them, and the timing is everything.
Yes,
but this qualifies for that.
It does. Yeah, it is certified.
But you can just get out there, even walk, I guess.
Absolutely. If you have a child you want to push in your stroller, you can do that. If you have a wagon you want to pull, we get that question asked a lot too. You just want to casually stroll, you can do that. And when you get to that Hill Street point, and if you just want to do half of it, you can just keep on walking down North Castle Heights all the way back to the finish line. You don't have to finish it if you don't want to.
If you're not in the real competition, you can do pretty much what you want.
You can, and we're appreciative of all of it. And then one thing that's always a highlight just for everyone to see, it's an emotional moment too, is we have our survivors trolley that comes after the very last walker. That trolley comes in and it gets pulled through that half course, and that's just always emotional and heartwarming, and just a really neat thing to see. That's who you're running and walking for, those types of families.
Well, I think we have probably here on Coleman and Company and the radio station have been a big, I want to think we've been a big supporter. I think we've had at least one guest, and maybe most of the time, two different programs devoted to this for a long time. And I hope that we're doing our part here. But
we appreciate it.
It does mean a lot for people. People don't realize that when cancer strikes, any kind, colon or otherwise, it affects the whole family. It changes your life. There's expenses that are not doctor and hospital related that people don't understand. A lot of times, if they haven't experienced it, they don't realize some of the things they're facing that are not doctor and hospital necessarily. They're just you need some extra money, and you have I think you have used this money very wisely, very helpful to all the people over the years. And how many years is this? This is
22nd annual Sherry's Run.
21 years we've had Sherry's Run.
It's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, right. And Kesney, you became a part of this a little bit later than most, I guess, but this has got to have been rewarding for you, no doubt.
Absolutely.
You already said so in a way, but I hope that you plan to keep being a part of this.
Yes, it's incredible just to see how God uses the community to come together and support families with their struggles and their cancer diagnosis.
We got about a couple of minutes. We pretty much covered this, I think. But if you weren't planning to be a supporter, or you hadn't really thought about it, you have plenty of time. It's a week from Saturday. You can buy a bow. You can actually, what is it, $40?
It's $35, $45, or $40 to register, depending on which category you want to register. I will say, if you wait till the morning of, you can register that morning, but everything goes up $10. So better to register in advance. Mm-hmm. Right. And also, when you're on site, that silent auction tent is always a huge thing, and people get involved in Gary, and we'll talk more about that when he's here. But that's always a big hit too. And
can you do all of this online?
You can register and everything online at sherrysrun.org.
Yes, sir. Online?
You can pay online. Oh, okay. You can make a donation online.
Okay. So really, it's as close as your computer.
Absolutely. Or your smartphone. That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
And if you need to contact one of you, is there a number for information maybe?
615-925-2592. Or you can reach out on any of our social media platforms or through sherryshope.org or sherrysrun.org.
Okay. sherryshope.org, sherrysrun.org.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And then that'll probably give you a phone number if you need one.
It will. Yeah. Or if you Google Sherry's Run or Sherry's Hope, that'll give you a phone number as well.
Corey Cluck, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Kesney Hoot, thanks for being with
us. We appreciate
all you do.
We appreciate what y'all do.
Yes.
Sherry's Run on September 13th.
That's it.
That's going to do it for Tuesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman & Company. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.